shout out to Hoops Jargon, man. I'm gonna add you to the crew, man. This crew called Hoops Jargon. They've been getting at it, man. They the ones that's gonna grill you, man, because they majority are all Houston people. So that's
Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout
shout out
out
to
to the
Hoop Jargon,
family.
man. Shout out to Boxden.com. Shout out to Most Sports Talk Radio. Shout out to C Hendo. Shout out to everybody, man, tuning in right now, man. Yeah, man, y'all be sure to follow Kendrick Perkins, man. This is a good dude. Trust me, man. The way he is right now, when you meet him in person, it ain't no different, man. He's one of the realest in the game, man. He's good people to me, man. He's always been around, been knowing this dude for a minute, man. So
shout out to Hoop Jargon, man. What up, everybody? Sorry, I got a little held up. As y'all know, I'm in this hotel because my apartment got flooded and had mold in it. So this is week almost. Well, 4 more days, I'll be out. I'll be back where I belong. But Sunday Gumbo, man, back by popular request, man. I appreciate y'all who hit me up, said y'all like the Sunday discussions when I kind of step away from sports and just kind of talk about what's going on in certain things. And this topic was actually requested by my boy Will, so I do want to discuss about being manly and stepping up. And I saw a great video. It's funny how life kind of comes and connects with you. I saw a great video that pertains to like the manosphere as it is. And if y'all know, that's like what the Kevin Samuels of the world comes from, the Bernard Riley's of the world, the so many factions, Poor Man's Podcast, Alpha Male Strategies, you name them, all these big YouTube entities that are kind of taking over like the men's sphere. And so I saw a great video from the Fresh and Fit podcast about a guy talking about being manly, stepping up, being a dude. And I see it a lot, man, in the YouTube game, in real life, at work. You know, it's a lot of space where a lot of men are kind of afraid to be men, or you have not told what it is to be a man. Like, and that is speaking into affirmative. Now, just having squad game on you, you know what I'm saying? That's one part of manhood. But the other part is learning and understanding how to deal in daily situations. That is what takes you over the top. And I do want to go over these things because I think it's important that people understand that, like, in this world, it's set up for you not to be an upstanding man. It's set up for you to congratulate yourself on menial things. And I think it is incumbent on us, brothers. We got to be better than that, man. We got to understand big picture. We got to understand that the principles and the guidelines we set, our offspring are accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're accountable for our offspring. the good things we set is going to affect how they grow up. And if we're just all over the place, we're so emotional, we're combative, we are tribal in the sense that we're not being productive and being upstanding, it's just going to lead to a worse group right after us. And guys, I used to be a teacher for 4 years. I've seen this play out in real time. I've seen kids just be a derivative of bullshit. And I grew up around, I'm in the hood. I'm from the hood, rather, from Houston. And the kids I had was from a similar area. And you just see like a derivative of BS, unhinged hip hop culture, drug culture, street culture taking over. And then by the time I got them as middle school kids, it was a lot of unprogramming to do. And what I'm suggesting is anything wrong with hip hop per se? No, not really. I mean, I grew up on it. I still listen to it to this day. However, when we let those type of tenets from hip hop, because let's be frank about this, we don't run hip hop. There are people, if you can catch my drift, who pay us to communicate hip hop, and certain people get promoted over others based on what you are propagating out. So we got to step in as elders, as parents, as kinfolk, as uncles, as aunties, and step in and buff that, of what they take in, and let them know that that's not true. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this part of this podcast. I want y'all to hear, man. This guy's an MMA fighter, and he's just talking about his beefs with the manosphere as it was, and just how he views people not being manly. And I just saw it this morning, man, after I got the idea for the show from my boy Will, and I was just like, damn, it's funny how life just connects things together. So give me one moment while I get my technology on. And y'all, feel free to comment. If you got a request, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram. I will use your idea if it's something I see that'll work. All right, so yeah, the video is called Listen Up. And I think it's going to be a very, very good thing, and that we can reference. So let me go to share screen. Boop. Chrome tab. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and maximize that bad boy. There we go. I'm about to say, man. Come on, technology. All right. So here we go. Word up. He about to go in. And before he go, I do want to address. I forget the brother name on the right, but he's speaking about just beefing over petty stuff. And if anything you know about me, most people in real life know me. I do not do bullshit petty. I don't give it no energy, man. Because at the end of the day, either you're gonna have to fight, it can get to some street shit, or you just look like a clown. So I don't do that shit, man. I really don't, especially not over YouTube, over Instagram, over Facebook. I've been in many Facebook things and Twitter back in the day. I don't entertain that shit no more. But yeah, shout out Fabian. What's up, homie? Appreciate you rocking with us. All right, let's keep going. This dude, the clown. I don't even know who he is, but he's pretty funny. Uh-oh. Trigger alert. Trigger alert. Y'all get ready. Buckle your seatbelts. And let me say this, as a salesman, a high-performance salesman, I can appreciate that. Now, am I a Donald Trump supporter? Shit, no. I think Donald Trump is one of the biggest. Oh, the volume is low? Okay, let me see if I can crank that baby up. Is it low on the YouTube video or me talking? Oh, shit. That's why. Okay, I got you. Appreciate it, Will. All right, so yeah, I'm the furthest one could be from a Donald Trump supporter. The grabbing the pussy thing, that don't mean nothing to me. But I will say, ladies, in locker room talk, dudes talk like that. And it'll be the most upstanding dude that you think is the most woman respecting, worshiping, however you want to set that out. Dudes behind closed doors talk like this. And I'm talking about politicians, lawyers, doctors, professors. I've seen it all. I promise you. And I'm not just saying that just to sound like to prove a point on the video. I've literally seen this in real life with highly ranking men. So when Donald Trump comes out and says that, it's funny how I see other high ranking men act appalled when they know goddamn well that's how it goes, especially if you play sports. Holy shit, I've heard a lot worse. You understand what I'm saying? So I can understand the spirit of what he's talking about with a guy who can speak, basically saying a person who speaks affirmatively. And I do agree with that. That's why I'm not, even though I don't like Donald Trump, I can appreciate the spirit he emanates. Does that make sense? So Donald Trump is a guy that even if he's wrong, he stands on his square and he means what he says. So I can appreciate that sentiment of it. And I tell brothers all the time, man, a lot of brothers, complain, especially in the manosphere, about women not listening to them and submitting to them and all this shit. But if you speak like a bitch, you're not going to get positive results. If your woman don't at least respect you, how do you think you're going to yield positive results in your household? She going to dog walk you all day. You understand what I'm saying? And not saying being rude, not saying disrespect your woman, but you got to speak affirmatively, man. And so I think that's the takeaway I got from that first little tidbit, but let's proceed forward.
Yep. Right? I don't like snakes. So I like Trump. So I joined Trump Twitter. I found out about the manosphere.
And you met his son too.
Yeah, I met his son. Met Donald Trump Jr. Awesome, nice guy. I met Donald Trump Jr. And we sat and we had coffee. There's a picture on my Instagram. We sat and we had coffee for an hour. Super nice guy. Made me coffee. Got up. Super respectful. Well, hey man, can I get you anything? Like completely down to earth. Completely awesome guy. Really nice guy. So so I kind of fell into the manosphere space. And the manosphere, as I see it, has three key issues, three key problems. Now, there's a big split. Anyone who's
Before he goes, I know a little bit about what he said, but I gotta say, yeah, the manosphere is a great spectrum for men to share men perspectives and things of that nature. But there are holes in the manosphere, as most of us know who watch it. And one thing I see is a lot of lames who try to talk themselves up in the manosphere. You can tell that they ain't been in vagina since they came out of one. You know what I'm saying? So that pseudo male energy, you do see a lot of that in the manosphere. Like people call themselves red pill, MGTOW, and all that stuff. Now I do subscribe to red pill ideology, but I do understand some dudes are just saying that shit just so they can talk themselves up. So if I can remember, that's one of the premises you're going to delve into, but let us proceed forward.
One who's watching this and doesn't understand what I'm talking about, it's not that important. There's a big split in the manosphere. Yeah. There's people on both sides. There's people on both sides who I like and respect. Mm-hmm. So I haven't taken a side in any regard. However, the problem is this. The biggest problem is this is number one. The truth, when you are searching for the truth, it's always in between two opposing viewpoints.
Absolutely.
Viewpoint A, viewpoint B. Yeah. And the truth is somewhere in between. It may be closer to one than the other. It may be dead in the middle, but it's somewhere between them. It's very rare that the truth is absolutely one point and not the other. Yeah. The way you discover the truth is through discourse. You disagree and you argue. Point one and point two, you disagree and you argue and you come to the truth. Mm-hmm. If we're supposed to be a manosphere of men, why can't we have people who disagree disagree on a broadcast in search of the truth, and then shake hands afterwards and move on with their lives? Why is it got to be so petty? Why is it got to be so tribalized? If you don't agree with everything that's in this book, you don't get to talk to me. What kind of masculine manosphere is that? Why can't I say I disagree with this whole chapter? Let's have a podcast. Wouldn't that be better for the knowledge, the search of knowledge?
And what he's talking about is living in like an echo chamber, meaning like you don't want to hear anything that isn't congruent of what you believe. And that's called myopia as well. So it's like you got tunnel vision. It's my way. I don't see anything else. I don't acknowledge anything else. And it's also, what people would consider cognitive dissonance. So I think it's important to us men, you don't get so riled up behind something that you just learned and you're running with it like the wind and you're not willing to listen to another perspective. Because I think that that's very deleterious to you, because let's say you get that come to Jesus moment and you find out what you thought was incorrect. That's when people lose their mind, because they buy in so hard and they don't use their own brain. They don't use cognitive function to find a middle ground with all that. Case in example, Kevin Samuels. I'm a huge supporter of Kevin Samuels. However, some shit he says and does, I don't agree with. And I say it outright. And so and me and DJ, man, shout out to DJ Ron Cut, man. I'm a huge Lonzo Ball supporter. But sometimes he be bullshitting. And I'm okay with saying that. I got into it with somebody on Twitter, kind of, because I don't do that shit. But he was saying how I'm a hater of Lonzo. I'm like, how am I a hater? Because I'm just making a joke about, one of his little fallacies or what have you. So we as men got to get past that petty shit, man, because all that is just feminine energy, man. Let's move forward.
This is a genuine question. Like, this is so tribalized. I don't understand, because no one can disagree, because as soon as someone starts to disagree, everyone becomes petty and starts crying their eyes out and becomes personal beefs.
Yep.
I got in the cage and smashed the dude's face in. And afterwards, we shook hands. So why are you crying over arguing over a book? Like, what's wrong with you people? Yeah, it's pay. It's like my webcam girls. It reminds me of my cam girl days. Crying over dumb shit. If the dudes in the manosphere were men, they would be able to say, "Look, we disagree on X point. Let's talk about it on a podcast. We're going to argue it out, and afterwards, we will still be friends."
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Point right now. We'll talk about it, and then we'll go out and have some drinks. Yep. What's the fucking problem? Yep. Am I right or not?
But that's how men solve problems. Yep. They literally talk, discuss it. Hey, let's agree to disagree, bro.
Yeah.
You want to have a drink?
And 9 out of 10 times, it's disagreements on like minor things. We still pretty much agree on 80, 99% of whatever it is,
Absolutely.
Tenements of masculinity, be a leader, don't be weak, all this other stuff, take care of yourself, put yourself first, not women.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I have the same.
And that's the biggest.
And I want to say this. I like this premise, because this is promoting male accountability. Because in this manosphere space, a lot of people like to just blame women for everything. And like I let in, you can't keep blaming women if you're not establishing a standard, if you're not putting forth a rubric to follow with sensible tenets that's what happens. You lose control over what you preside over. And so, and I'm glad that these brothers are addressing this, because this is something that you got to step your shit up too. It ain't just bitching at women all day long. It's incumbent upon you as well. You got you got a stake in this whole thing that we call cooperation. You have a stake in it as well. You have the major stake in that. Let me say that. So you can't just go around blaming women and saying that women are doing the same thing when you're doing the same thing. You got to take accountability too.
The problem with the manosphere is that it's very tribalized. There's one group of people who are like all about this one thing, and if you don't agree with them, they will kick you out their podcast and won't invite you on it anymore because you have to agree with everything they say all the time. And I just don't think that's a search for truth. I think that's just a circle jerk.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just a circle jerk, and I think it's pathetic. That's the first thing. If I disagree with someone in the manosphere, I would like to message them and say, I disagree with you. Let's talk about this. And this happened with OnlyFans and webcam girls, right?
And you should be able to do that. And when a man steps to you like that, you shouldn't be no hoe about it. You shouldn't get in your feelings because a man stepped to you. You should be like, okay, bro, let's talk. I'm free at this time. Let's talk. It shouldn't be like, nigga, get out my inbox. Oh, ho, Andy. That's woman shit. Well, let me say, I don't want to throw women on that bus. That's feminine shit. That's not a masculine tenet that when somebody has a problem with you, they want to address you, that you accept the fact that they at least are coming to you in good faith. I think that's a very good point.
Right? The Rule Zero guys were talking about OnlyFans and webcam girls without inviting me on because they didn't like me anymore. And I was felt like, dudes, without disrespect, you're not qualified.
Facts.
You're not qualified. Why are you all sitting around circle jerking? You didn't even invite me. I'm the one who knows. but you don't like me because we disagreed on something else. And now it's he's not allowed on our show. Thought you were a man. Come on, the fuck, stupid, pathetic.
Echo chambers.
People do this shit. People do this shit.
Echo chamber. Am I right? I'm fucking right. That's the first thing.
Echo chambers. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not good to have echo chambers, bro. Echo chambers. Yeah. We bring people on this podcast that we don't necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
You know, hell,
even
guys,
girls.
Yeah, girls. We've had Abba came on the show, guys. I was wrong about him. I thought he was a square. Yeah. He's not a square, guys. You know what I mean? He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I thought Abba was an extreme square, but when you kind of get to know, because Abba and Preach, if y'all know, they had a huge YouTube channel. I thought he was a square too, but he does have a lot of manly tenets to him when you kind of get to know more about him. I agree with that.
And I can stand up on my 2 feet and say, I was wrong about him. He's a good man. He's not a square. And I can say that. Yeah. But that can't happen unless we open the door to have that conversation.
Exactly.
And then we shook hands. It was good. He came back and we did an excellent late night show.
With hella girls.
You know, with hella girls. You know, and he had a great time. And, you know, we're going to have him back on the show.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. Like, even if you disagree with someone, have the balls, bring him on your platform. Yeah. He confronts you on uncomfortable things. Yeah. If you're wrong, which I was, he's not a square. Yeah. Admit it. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know.
So this is the first thing that should happen. Yeah. I believe in this. This is the first thing that should happen. The second thing, I don't really agree with the manosphere. I understand a lot of the arguments now is going on. Some guys are fake. Some guys aren't fake. Key is this. I truly believe in capitalism, and I truly believe in the free market. And if you're a man, you should. Right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
If even if you have no game, and even if you're a virgin, but if you're saying things that are helping people get laid, then good. You're spreading positivity to the world. Like, who gives a shit, right? There's so many of these dudes are obsessed with how many girls the other dudes fought. I don't care what any dude's doing with his dick. I don't care. Facts. I don't give a shit, right? I'm not interested, right? If you're saying things which I believe are genuinely helping other men, then good. If I think you're saying things which are not helping other men, then let's revert to point one.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And one thing I always say, man, and I do like a thing on just regular Facebook as well called Cliff Notes. Listen, man, I always say no man is infallible. Like, so what people tend to do is when somebody has like a following and people are like learning from it or what have you, when something personal comes out, they use that to try to disavow the message. And like, to his point, if the message is cogent, if it's true, there you go. Now, I get it. Some people, let's just say a person talking about how to be a professional basketball player, and they never played professional basketball. They never dealt with the realm of professional basketball. They never even made their high school team. I understand why you'd be like, all right, come on, bro. However, if a dude played college basketball, he knows professional guys, he's had these high-level conversations, you cannot cut the legs up under him saying, oh, well, you ain't played pro, so you don't know. That doesn't mean he doesn't understand the story from having talked to people who understand the story. Y'all get the difference? So I think in this space, it can get real corny about people trying to say somebody can't speak on something because it's not like a direct linear association. Does that make sense? A la Kevin Samuels being divorced 2 times, saying he can't speak on marriage. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, on one end, he can't maintain one, but on the other end, he knows how to be married and how to get married. So we gotta, again, eat. And this is like a popular, phrase that most people who have a cognitive function understand: eat the meat, spit out the bones. Take the good, spit out the bad.
Why is it got to be a personal beef? I don't understand that. And some of the guys who have a personal beef with me is because of point one. It's just a personal issue with me because I disagree with them on something. And like feminine little bitches, they just get so personally offended. How can you not agree with everything I ever said? What's wrong with you? Little weirdos.
It's a lot of weirdos.
They're weirdos. You're fucking weirdos.
It's a lot of weirdos in this YouTube game. I can 100% attest to that. Weirdos.
Point 3. This is an important one. The manosphere beefs. It's the first time in my life where someone was saying my name and I didn't get to fight him. I lived in a world, I grew up, where I had beef with someone on the other side of the world. We both ran our mouths, but there was a day and a time when it all was put on the line.
Yep.
The manosphere is full of fucking cowards.
Man, facts. And so that's what Kevin Samuels says a lot, man. It's like, and women struggle with this concept. You learn playing sports that it's certain dudes you can talk to certain kind of ways. We talking your team, the opposing team, whoever, because if you get too out of pocket, we all know this to be so, especially in the streets, there's a level threat of fighting, of violence. And it may be a sense where you punch somebody, they pull out a knife and stick your ass. You understand what I'm saying? So most men who understand that know that you just don't handle everybody the same way, because there's a chance that the Jay-Z thing, you go crush an ant with a sledgehammer, because you can do what you want to and you would think you get an equal outcome. You cannot control somebody else's outcome. So that's why I'm very judicious about how I speak to people in this space. Not that I'm afraid of anybody. However, I know that when you cross a certain line, somebody gonna have to see somebody, man. The pandemic ain't gonna last forever. You understand what I'm saying? I want to walk in a space where I'm not disrespecting no man. I'm gonna challenge your belief system. I'm gonna do that. But I'm not gonna get to a place where I'm gonna call some man out his name, talk bad about his mother, talk bad about his seed, because you're gonna have to own up to that. It was literally a case where a guy, a rapper from Chicago, he got his 7-year-old daughter killed because he went to one of his ops' funeral and pissed on his grave, and they retaliated by killing his daughter. You gotta watch how you move in this space, man. You think that because you're doing it on social media that somebody can eventually touch you. That ain't how it go, man. That's a great point.
You don't put it on the line. They'll make YouTube videos and they'll insult you, but they intend to never see you. They want to hide from you forever.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be the manosphere. There's a particular character in the manosphere who I've spoken to recently and sorted things out with. But this particular character kept saying my name, and I was like, my friend. I sat there with Tristan and said, he would not stand a chance against me. And he knows that. So why is he even saying my name? I don't understand. Maybe I'm crazy, right? But I'm the kind of guy, I have so much honor as an individual. I would never run my mouth about someone who I knew could certainly destroy me. I'm just not that guy. I'm not the guy to say.
Now, I would say he strikes me as crazy. He's a crazy dude, but he has what's they call lucid thoughts. I would say he's a very intelligent fighter. From what I see, a lot of athletes, man, they're just not smart guys. And I would say, man, he has a great ability to take all that ball of chaos. Because if you're a fighter, man, you got to take your mind somewhere else a lot. And he has that ability, but he has that lucid ability to rein it back and see things for what they are. So I do got to give him props on his ability to like delve into both of those realms. And my boy Will say same thing that'll make you laugh or make you cry. Goddamn, boy. Want it, goddamn it. Same shit to make you laugh and make you cry. That is facts.
Sit there and go, this guy's an idiot, knowing that if I ever meet him, I'm totally fucked.
Problem.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, man? So this makes me think about my favorite comedian. I talk about him on the show all the time. It's Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal died about 10 years ago, but he is when he was alive, he was my favorite comic. I was like, this dude is freaking hilarious. But he has his thing he says about, again, with Kevin Samuels, about women not understanding there's a low-level threat of violence when you start to disrespect somebody. And he was saying that when he talks to women, he's like, and Patrice O'Neal is about 6'5", 300 pounds. He's a big dude, played football. He was like, does she not know I could punch her through the wall? How she talking to me? And he said that he would tell his woman, Vonnie. Vonnie still does, work still to this day. She's a very attractive woman. He was like, one time she was getting into it with a man on the street, getting into it with him. And Patrice just walked off. So when she realized that her protection was gone, she deaded that conversation. It was over. And when she walked up, she's like, what you doing? I was like, and she's like, no, that dude could break your face and you talking to him like he can't because I'm here. You need to understand that you need to be accountable for your words. And I thought that was just, it's crazy because that's very uncouth. And that kind of falls in line with the Manosphere's, mantra now. But Patrice was saying this kind of shit 10 years ago. So that's kind of what he's speaking about. Is like, dude, you got to be able to read the room. You better assess your opponent. You talking wild crazy. You know this dude fight MMA. And you just talking like you're going to whoop his ass. Give you another story. When I was in college, I'll put his name here. My teammate, Aldo Nilson Clementino, he's from Brazil. Cockswole dude, 6'7", built like a damn. He actually ended up fighting in MMA. But he was very abrasive. But me and him never had problems. He was actually my roommate. A lot of my teammates just swear they would whoop his ass. Coaches would say they would whoop his ass. And it turns out he's an MMA fighter. Now he does he has a boxing gym out in McKinney, Texas, which is basically Dallas, Texas, a little more north. That dude used to beat people up for a living. So, but in college, people were talking about they would kick his ass. And I was just like, no, you're not going to beat. Look him up. ADENILSONCLEMENTINO. Aldo Nilson Clementino. We call him Daniel. That boy is a walking specimen since I first met him. And people just swear they would talk to him crazy. And he would always tell me, he's like, he's from Brazil. Them guys lucky, man. Because, man, I kick at their ass, man, but I don't want to lose my scholarship because he did not want to go back to Brazil. All of us want to go to Brazil. He's like, he's never going back to Brazil. He's from Sao Paulo. So just to kind of let you know, man, a lot of people overplay their hand with this shit thinking they're tough. And it's like, nah, bro. Come on, man.
And then that just makes you immoral.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. If you were truly a man, you'd say, you know what? I don't like this and this about Tate, but Tate's serious. And it's probably better I just stay out.
Get punched in the face.
Yeah. If I meet Tate, I know I'm going to have to just either lose or capitulate. So why don't I just shut up? Internet tough guys, man. Internet tough guys.
It's real shit.
Internet tough guys. And the Manosphere is the first time in my life I've been involved in all this beef where there's no fighting. So I have the solution to it all.
What you got?
As you know, I work very closely with an MMA organization in Romania. Let's put on a tournament and let's just fix this all. We're all supposed to be men. We'll give you all 9 months to train. We can fucking make the matchups and let's get this over with.
I'm down with it. Actually,
Let's fix it. Because otherwise it's just a whole bunch of crying your eyes out. And fucking people sitting there acting tough behind screens. Man, I don't want to say names, but just one dude kept saying my name. We fixed it now, but I was like, bro, fucking midget, bro, shut up.
And I'm gonna tell you, these YouTube dudes, zero will show up to such a battle royal. But proceed on, brother.
Like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, right? It's not. And in the real world, that shit doesn't fly. It's just internet tough guy bullshit. But that's the problem with the Manosphere. The problem about the Manosphere is there's nothing masculine about it. That's the problem with the Manosphere.
Well said. And you know what's funny?
I won't say that. It's just not the full length of masculinity, which is like he said, when you step over the line, you're gonna have to see me. And I think that part is devoid from the Manosphere because you got guys who gonna sit behind this right here their whole life and they stand up. They ain't no taller than your home entertainment system talking all that shit behind the screen. Like I tell people all the time who talk that shit to me, like, man, I'm 6'7", 240 in real life. I'm not worried about that shit. I ain't worried about nothing you're talking about. And I'm not even gonna try to meet up with you. I ain't trying to fight you. Because as I said, consequences come with that. But if you really want to get down with that shit, come on, man. You just talking. You just talking, man.
When people talk shit, right? Nothing happens. When you pull up in front of them, I didn't. You know how
I know that from personal experience. We ain't gonna give them no clout, but someone talks some smack on the internet to run up on them in person. No internet stuff.
Because you're right. They don't ever expect to see you in person, but when they do, time to pull up.
And I gotta say this, man. in the manosphere sector, some cats who know O'Shea Duke Jackson pulled up on the Sane Center in Brazil, but they didn't pull up on him face to face. They took a picture of him behind his back, because if you watch Sane Center's channel, he with the shits, man. And so all them dudes talking that shit about him took pictures way away from him behind his back, talking about he was with a trash white girl. And the Sane Center went in on O'Shea Duke Jackson. But none of them dudes who those, it's like this, like a group of traveling black men who spotted him out in Brazil when Sane Center was out there. They didn't press him though. So that's how that YouTube game goes, man. And they took pictures trying to roast him. It's like, but you could have ran down on them right then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a very true point, man.
Yeah, they know what time it is. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I don't like about the whole manosphere. So besides, there's individual characters on both sides of the space who I like and I respect. And I know some of those guys don't like you. Like I was on John Anthony's podcast. He doesn't like you. He said bad things about you guys. He's always shown me respect. I'm the kind of guy, if you show me respect, I show you respect back. Mm-hmm. That's how
guys, that's how I'm in with YouTube. Like you may see me doing a video with some other cat. It's like, man, at the end of the day, we're men building. I'm a grown ass man. That's a grown ass man. That's a grown ass man. I don't do high school shit. So if it's something that I feel like I can step on and help the people observing the product, that's what I'm about, y'all. I want y'all to hear real testimonies. Man, I put a shit on Facebook today. I was emailing my agent in 2007 when I was playing ball overseas, complaining about how I got so we lost by like 50. And I never forget this cat named Eddie Tommy. He played at Ole Miss, man. That dude was just like a bowling ball, man. He about 6'8", right here. If you ever know who Corliss Williamson, he was a big arm. No, maybe it's Corliss Williamson, just built like this with it. That's how Eddie Tommy was. He just was a bowling ball, man. And we lost by 50, man. I had like 20 points and 10 rebounds. I did my thing. We lost by 50 though, because my teammates were terrible. And I had one dude playing with a broke right hand, and he's right-handed, so that just shows you what I was working with. After the game, they blamed me because I was the best player on the team. And the night before that, we went out. I'm like, man, I don't care if we went out. I don't care if well, I ain't gonna say LeBron, but I don't care if Matthew Dellavedova was on our team. We wouldn't beat them because he can't hold Eddie Tommy. You understand what I'm saying? So it was just so off-putting. But I put on Facebook about how I told my agent I'm out. I was like, fuck this, I'm out. So it's just funny how you can how you evolve and what you are and what you become. So I just remember sharing that just yesterday. Everybody's laughing at that story. That's a true story. So I showed the actual email because you got to give people receipts these days, just so you know I ain't just bluffing. But yeah, that was a pretty funny story I had back in the Gap.
How I am, right? Anthony Johnson, I don't know if you guys are friends with him or not. He's always shown me respect. I show him back. There's also guys on your side. You guys have always shown me respect. I've always loved you guys. I show you respect back. That's how I am, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be tribalistic and jump into an echo train.
Business. If you work with someone that we don't necessarily agree with, we're not going to hold that against you and be like, oh, Andrew, you can't come on our show because you work with someone that we don't like. Like, nah, bro, we mess with you. Yeah. We like that has nothing to do with us.
As
like,
a man, you got to separate feelings from business. If you can't do that, to me, you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, facts, bro.
Man, it's funny. I didn't even know that video would end that way. I never seen that video past the first 3 minutes. But it's interesting to end it that way. And so it's how I approach everything, man. Like I tell a lot of my friends in real life, just because you don't like another friend I have doesn't mean that I don't like y'all the same. Because to me, that's
everything in here.
Uh-oh, that was a little loud.
If you want to come over here, profit from
profit. Hold on, Kev. We ain't gonna put you in this one. We're gonna hold you off this one. All right, yeah. So I guess we're done with that. But no, so I mean, I approach most things like that. Most people know me in real life, know that's how I am. I got a lot of friends who don't necessarily like each other.
You got to go through our power structure.
I just said
we're going to talk about circulating our dollar and that kind of thing. Then it will be a hell of a lot easier for.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah. So everybody again who knows me in real life know I'm like that, man. I don't require my friends to like each other. That's real shit. I've had literally my group Hoop Jargon have a lot of dissension over, my second hand in command, Ernest Walker, passing 2 years and some change ago. Once he passed, there was a rift in the group. And I was just like, listen, man, as long as you follow my rules, everybody stays, whatever. And I'm like that. I'm about, man, what's the bottom line? Like you're saying about business. I don't require y'all to like each other because of whatever reason. This is what it is. Either you're down with what it is or you're not, and that's okay. I'm not going to talk bad about you. I'm not going to slander your name, but I'm going to stand on principle. And this just goes back to what we're talking about men being men. It's time that we got to just start letting your other brother know, man, you're getting too emotional, bro. You are you're in a stead that's not going to be conducive to you moving forward on manly principle. And I'm glad, and I only know the MMA fighter's dude name. I only know that dude from a ham sandwich, but he made very good points from what I saw. And then we watched about 3/4 of that video together live. And I thought he just made great points because in the manosphere, which I do have another page called Cliff Notes, which I talk about this specifically. I do want to bring this to my Hoop Jargon page so you guys can see what's going on. So you guys can, kind of feel what men are really saying, like in this new wave of idealism and what have you, because amongst that new wave, there's still a lot of critiques that we got to make. And that's why I had that old picture of the guy with the tough guy fist. Because that's how men were back then, man. Excuse me. That's how men were back then. Guys spoke more on principle. Guys were more like, it's this way or it's not. And that's just how it was, man. And we got to get back to that, man. All right, Rap God in the building. That's my guy, man. I love Rap God. All right, so what's your thoughts on Logan Paul fighting Floyd Mayweather? Man, I said this in my group, Hoop Jargon, man. Let me say the wine of the day. Some Noble Vines, man. Some 337, man. I'm sipping on a little bit. No, I think it is marketing brilliance. When I say this all the time, man. Logan Paul is about to benefit off of the backs of emotional Negroes. All of y'all emotional Negroes are about to put more and more money in this dude's pocket because you want to see him get his ass whooped. And y'all got to understand how entertainment works. Entertainment works off your emotions. So when you want to see somebody lose, guess what you're going to do? You're going to pay for it. When you don't give a shit about what he's doing, guess what you're going to do? You're going to wait for the recap. You understand what I'm saying? So when Logan Paul, or was it, which one knocked out Nate Robinson? Was it him or his brother? But when he knocked his brother out, we knocked Nate Robinson out. Man, everybody just lost their goddamn mind. I remember that shit so vividly. I'm like, Nate Robinson is not a goddamn boxer. He's 5'8". He's swole now. I'll give him that. That boy built like a damn action figure. But he's not a boxer. That's like me in my prime, 6'7", about 210, trying to play wide receiver because let's say a Randy Moss was 6'4", 220. No, that's not my sport. I'm gonna go out there and get embarrassed. You understand what I'm saying? So Nate stepped into the arena he wasn't ready for. He got his ass wore out. But now he's playing off that emotion now. And y'all are gonna give him his bag. And to Rap Guy's point, Logan gonna lose and emotional blacks gonna be mad. No. Logan's gonna lose and emotional black people are gonna start making all these memes to think they conquer some form of racism. You're gonna feel good about it, and nothing has changed in your life. Mark it, stamp it, put it on a goddamn CD. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, Jake Paul, yeah, his brother knocked out. Yeah, but you know how it goes. The family association goes. So now, like that mark of stain is like they wanna defeat white supremacy via these two boxers who are flashy and talk shit. That's how the average consumer thinks, and that's why they pay for fights. That's why Floyd Mayweather is. I don't like Floyd Mayweather at all, but he is brilliant. He made his money off of capitalizing, fighting these Hispanic fighters on their classic days, and he got all these fuckers who wanted to see a black man get his ass whooped in that ring, and of course he wasn't gonna get his ass whooped. I think he could have possibly lost that one. Damn, who was he fighting when he kissed him and then he hit him with his guard down? I think he could have possibly lost that fight, but he didn't. So that's just water under the bridge. If Maidana wasn't so wild, he could have got him one time. But I mean, Floyd he is a smart boxer, too smart. Pacquiao was too old with them weak ass, what they say, them pillow punches. It's just Floyd is very strategic, man. And with the Conor McGregor thing, he got y'all, and that was right before Hurricane Harvey back home. Yeah, Ortiz, my bad. Yeah, Ortiz is who we fought. So That happened before Hurricane Harvey, man. I sat and watched that Floyd Mayweather fight with Conor McGregor, and I just watched social media doing that shit. But they wanted him to pulverize him, which he was. Conor McGregor is not a boxer. But if you notice, the fights he takes is when you got that racial divide and it gets you emotional. That's how he gets his bag. That's all Floyd Mayweather about, man. And y'all, I mean, it's good to empower another brother. I'm with that. But you're giving the other guy back too. So Logan Paul gonna cash out, man, and it's off y'all emotionality. All right, let's see. 9 Days says the internet has empowered everyone. Oh yeah, you better believe that. I'm telling you, man. This YouTube game is something else, man. But I like it, man. Overall, I'm Hoop Jargon gonna always be Hoop Jargon, man. That's never gonna change. But I do hope that you guys benefit from me sitting here taking time out of my day to talk because I like to talk. Between the games, my boy Will, he know. I love to do this I do this shit in real life. I love to debate. I love to call out principles on other people and just see where your mind is and see if that is something that is cogent towards logical thinking. I do this shit all the time, man. I'm sure he'll comment. He'll tell you I do this shit in real life all the time. All right, let's see. Say Logan gonna lose and Emotional Blast gonna be mad. Yep. Yeah, Ortiz. Yeah, so Jacob's brother knocked out Nate Robinson. That shit was hilarious, man. I ain't gonna lie. I may or may not made a few memes off that, dog. That looked like that Martin versus Tommy Hitman Hearns bit they had on the show. Martin was like, Tommy Hitman Hearns. Well, like Tommy to get Hitman Hearns. Whooped his ass. He all on the ropes with that. That's what Nate Robinson looked like to me. So I made a meme of that, and that shit kind of went viral. But yeah, man, that's some funny shit. I made a few memes in my day that's going pretty viral. It's another one I made. It went like stupid viral. It was about LeBron James getting kudos from ESPN. This is probably about 8 years ago. And I was like, ESPN be like, LeBron, the first player to score 7 points in the first 12 minutes with the weather at 37 degrees. On, you know what I'm saying? You know, they make all these buffers for LeBron. And so I made that. And like, y'all look it up. It's on Funny or Die. Type in Hoop Jargon. And or ESPN be like, type in ESPN be like, you'll see my water tag on it. It's a meme I made like 8 years ago. It went like millions of copies and reposts and all that shit. So had a viral moment. A super viral moment in my life. But anywho, yeah, man. So that's what we want to talk. If y'all got any more comments. And I want to say this, man. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Instagram if y'all want to give me like a topic that you want me to cover going forward. I see y'all usually come in around the 15-minute mark, and that's cool. I ain't tripping. And I'll address whatever you want me to do, and I'll give you a shout out as well, man. And if y'all have not liked the stream, subscribe to the page, man. It helps out, man. I want to get to by summertime 1,000 subs, man, so I can do these more often. If y'all want to super chat, y'all can. I can put community post up. I got a great dope video coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna be interviewing a cat that plays for Texas Southern University named John Walker III. He transferred from Texas A&M University. He's I think a 3-star prospect. He's gonna talk about with Shaquille O'Neal. His son just signed with Texas Southern, so he's gonna give his thoughts about it. He's gonna give his thoughts about the players' likeness and how players feel playing Division I sports right now, and about his aspirations of playing professional. So he actually, if y'all watch them, TSU played against Monmouth in the playing game. He had a breakout game. He had a really good game. So I'm going to have an interview with him tomorrow. So y'all keep tuning tomorrow. Yeah, I upload them. Well, I'm going live tomorrow. Me and John are going to have an interview. So I'll drop the time on Twitter. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I'll try to put that out. It's going to be a dope interview because he's a Houston kid, man. He has a lot of personality, man. Y'all going to like him. He has a lot of personality. He's a funny guy, man, for real. Let's see. We got to talk about what is the perfect mix of basketball rules between the eras, 80s, 90s, so people think basketball should look like. You know what, Will? Early tomorrow, because me and John going to go on around like 5 tomorrow. Me and you will get on and talk about this tomorrow. Let's talk about shit like this, because this is a guy who, again, I wouldn't put my hoop knowledge. I would say I'm less than a lot of people. Will, between the game sports, y'all sub to his channel, man. He has... I ain't gonna go that far. So he got twice the knowledge I got, but he knows more than I. He looks at it at a better analytical standpoint than I, man. So yeah, y'all subscribe to this man channel, man. Between the Game Sports. Let's see. Is Bronny going to be a good? Oh yeah, Bronny going to be good, man. Now, is he going to be the second coming? I personally didn't see it. I went to a game last year. They played against Duncanville High School at Dallas Mavericks Arena. Now, he was a freshman at the time, so granted, I have not seen him play this year as a sophomore. So I have not seen the progression, but he looked like a scared freshman on varsity, probably too early. He looked all right, but I just think, I mean, if you're getting personal training time, you got that body, you got the genetic pool that your dad gave you, I think he'll be fine. And I want to watch him again because you know what? Because with LaMelo Ball, I knew he would be fine, but I didn't think he would be as good as he was until I saw him turn 16. So when LaMelo was like 15 and playing against Zion in that tournament in Vegas that everybody saw against the South Carolina Select, I believe, against the big ballers, LaMelo, he held his own, but he looked like a little pipsqueak. And I didn't quite love his game yet. I liked his pedigree, so I knew he would eventually get it together, but it's hard for me to tell until you kind of cross into that 16-year-old turning 17. That's when I really can see what you really are, when you hit your real growth spurt. So when I saw him go overseas to Lithuania, I was like, oh, shit. 16, I was like, yeah, that's a pro. No question in my mind, that's a pro. There was no question in my mind. And I look at my old YouTube videos. I talked about that. And I said, LiAngelo, I don't really see a pro. I don't see a pro. Mikey going to be special, man. I hope Mikey go to the HBCU like he said he was thinking about doing. So, you know, I really hope he does, man. It's going to be a good thing, man. Y'all keep your eye out for the HBCU thing. And, man, me and DJ going to be putting some stuff out. And I think it's going to be a wave that's going to start in both sports. And I want to get ahead of it. We've been getting ahead of it. Most of my Deion Sanders videos do crazy numbers. I just got to – I ain't going to lie. I'm a little lazy sometimes. I got to get the motivation. So y'all motivate me. So I really appreciate cats like Rap God, cats like CA3 hopping on every post, showing love 9 days on every post. You know what I'm saying? UYP, you've been on the last few of them. So I do recognize people who be on these streams. Y'all really do help me go forward, man. Believe that shit or not. Unless y'all got any more questions, I think that's all I got. I got to go work a little bit today. I ain't got just a little bit of work today. And so I'll wrap it here. But again, John Walker interview coming tomorrow. And me and in between the game sports might get on and talk about the rule changes. So y'all be expecting it around like maybe 10 o'clock tomorrow morning Pacific. So I'm sorry. Yeah, Pacific time. So Central time, probably around noon. If we get a chance to hop on. If not, we'll do it at the next convenient moment. So yeah, man, peace to y'all. Peace and blessings, man. I really appreciate y'all tuning in, man, because it's nothing's worse than doing this stuff and you see nobody looking at it. So y'all held it down today, man, as always, as of late. So I really appreciate y'all. I want y'all to know that. And until next time, again, sub to the channel. If you have not, please hit the like button before you leave. Hoop Jargon, I'm out.